for a lot of the Shanahan tenure, it was always Niners have the better team, but they don't have the advantage at quarterback. And I think looking at the rest of the schedule, other than honestly, like even the Chiefs game, Mahomes is Mahomes and he owns the 49ers. But right now, Brock's playing better than Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is still a better quarterback, but Brock's playing better than Mahomes. He's playing better than Dak Prescott and Baker Mayfield and Geno Smith and Geno Love. He's not playing better than Josh Allen because that dude is a friggin' alien. But other than that, the Niners have the quarterback advantage, I think, in every game on the schedule.
He's not playing better than Patrick Mahomes, but I understand what you're trying to say. I think with Brock, what I like about him right now is like his numbers aren't as good as they were in the past, but the degree of difficulty has ratcheted up for him. And I think with Mahomes, we're seeing like, I think it's on a little bit different level for him. He's got old Travis Kelce, no Rashee Rice. Like he's working with nothing over there in Kansas City. And I think his numbers are suffering, but I don't think he's necessarily regressed. I think most quarterbacks are struggling in the Kansas City situation right now.
What you're saying is
I would still take Patrick Mahomes over Brock Purdy.
Oh, yes. Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback, but he's not playing better right now. And if the argument is, well, he needs some Avengers around him, that's hilarious because
I'm not saying Avengers. I mean, I couldn't name who are his receivers right now. Who are his wide receivers right now? Name one.
Wide receiver, Xavier Worthy.
Okay.
The rookie.
Okay, got a rookie.
Don't you see the irony in everybody saying, well, Brock Purdy.
You need a weapon. You do need some weapons. I'm not saying you need 7 All-Pros, but if you take away, like Justin Herbert's struggling, does that mean he's not good, or does it mean that they took away all his weapons and his offensive coordinator is Greg Roman?
His offensive coordinator is.
I mean, I'm not to take it all, not to just give Patrick Mahomes a complete pass because he's won Super Bowls, but the degree of difficulty is pretty high for him right now. Maybe they'll trade for Tyreek Hill, and then he'll have no excuses. But right now, I think he's got some excuses. Just like Brock does.
Yeah, Mahomes is the better quarterback. Let me be crystal clear about that for sure. But I think Brock he's kicking ass. He's playing smart too. Vish on Monday called it chaotic calm. And I thought that was really interesting because like he does the right thing most of the time, but before he does it, he makes your heart rate go through the roof sometimes because you're like, oh my God. But for the most part, he's protected the football. He has made heady plays. Even though it didn't work out, when he was scrambling around against the Rams, you could tell he made a point to stay in bounds, to run the clock out. He is protecting himself when he scrambles. I really think he is taking his game to a whole other level.
We're going too far, man. We're going too far. He's 2-2. Okay. And yeah, he beat the Patriots this week, and that's why everyone's being really upbeat. The Niners just won a game, so we're praising everyone on the team. They're 2-2, and he came off a 2-game losing streak where against the Vikings, really good team, like he sacked himself like 5 times and fumbled a ball indoors because it slipped out of his hands and threw an interception on a pass intended for the fullback. So a little spotty. And then the week after that, like going against the worst defense in the league, has opportunities to bring the team back, makes a beautiful throw to Ronnie Bell that's dropped, but then he has Brandon Ayuk wide open and doesn't pull the trigger. And which is why I think this last week was so important, because when he did have open guys deep down the field, he didn't hesitate. But I still feel like it's up and down with Brock Purdy, more ups than downs. But if he were making $60 million a year, we would be like, why he's 2-2? But right now it's still like, oh, wait a second. He's still Mr. Irrelevant. He's improving. The bar for scrutiny on him is going to go crazy in a year, just like it is with Ayuk. And it's probably going to feel unfair at times.
He definitely did not have a good game against Minnesota, for sure. There is no sugarcoating that. Brian Flores had him flummoxed, and it was not a good game. The Rams game, they lost, yes, but again, when the world was crashing down around them, he throws a ball to Ronnie Bell. I mean, he can't do any more than that.
Yes, he can. He can do more than that because he had other opportunities, and Brandon Ayuk was open. It's not enough to make one good throw when you're down. Like, franchise quarterbacks make multiple throws leading a team from behind. And they do it. Like Stafford's been doing it week in and week out since I was in college. And Purdy's had the benefit of not being in those situations. And when you are, I'd like to see him make that throw to Ayuk. Now, he did a good job in those situations in the playoffs, which is, I think, why a lot of people were so high on him against Green Bay and Detroit, because he didn't play that well the entire game, but he led the team from behind. He had the opportunity against the Rams and couldn't do it. Made the one throw. You got to make 2.
He made multiple plays in that game. Don't forget,
He didn't make enough.
Jake Moody
Period.
field goal that would have put them up by double digits.
He
in
didn't
that
make
game.
enough.
Well,
he had more opportunity. I mean, he saw Brandon Ayuk. He was staring at him. He didn't throw the ball. That's on him.
yeah, that was a bad one. But
and then he corrected it the next week, which is why we love Brock. Jimmy would just stop throwing that pass. And did.
Well, yeah, who cares about Jimmy Garoppolo? He's irrelevant. I did just see Brock Purdy throw 3 touchdowns on 1 possession this past week also. Talking about somebody that
I also saw him throw an interception in the end zone, up multiple scores in the fourth quarter. Like, take a knee. The game is over. You are letting the Patriots back in the game. Fortunately, they have no offense, so it doesn't really matter. But he's not perfect yet. He's not Patrick Mahomes yet. Like, that was ridiculous.
Who's saying
he's not the MVP? He's not even as good as Sam Darnold this year.
Oh, he's way better than Sam Darnold.
No, he's not. Sam Darnold is the MVP of the league right now. If you're going to say that Brock Purdy is having a better season than Patrick Mahomes, then Sam Darnold's having a better season than Brock Purdy, objectively.
No, I don't think so.
No, he is.
You just talked about degree of difficulty. What Brock?
Yeah, but you discounted that by saying that Brock Purdy's having a better season than Patrick Mahomes. So Sam Darnold's having a better season than Brock Purdy by your standards.
I don't think so. Because if you look at what Sam Darnold is doing the things that we accused early Brock Purdy of doing and Jimmy Garoppolo of doing. He's running a fantastic scheme, and he's running it exactly the way it needs to be run. And they are running circles around people in Minnesota.
So Brock. So is Brock. Because he lost Christian McCaffrey, and he only has the best tight end in football, and he only has 2 of the most expensive wide receivers in football. He only has the leading rusher in football, and he only has the 3rd leading receiver in football. Like, oh my God, my heart breaks for Brock Purdy. What a struggle he's gone through this year.
Brock Purdy is throwing the ball deeper down the field. He's throwing the ball to receivers with less separation, and he is completing them at a way higher rate than anybody. He has 37 completions of 10 or more yards this year. That is 11 more.
Sam Darnold's quarterback rating is 118. He has 11 touchdown passes this season. 11. How many does Brock have?
I don't know.
Right.
Off the top of my head. I don't know.
Yeah. If he had 11, you'd know, though.
But just because Sam Darnold has more counting stats when Jordan Mason is playing well, doesn't necessarily mean that he's playing better. What are the plays? Are the plays wide open? How difficult are the throws? I mean, if we're talking degree of
5 touchdown passes, Brock, in 4 games.
Okay.
It's not great. It's not great.
If we're talking degree of difficulty, the throws that Brock Purdy is making are more difficult than the throws.
I was trying to follow your logic when you were saying that Brock Purdy is a better quarterback right now than Patrick, or having a better year than Patrick Mahomes right now. If Brock Purdy is playing better than Patrick Mahomes right now, which he's not, then Sam Darnold is playing better than Brock Purdy right now.
I don't think so. I think Sam Darnold is a scheme merchant right now.
And Brock's not.
No. We just talked about how he's throwing the ball deeper down the field.
Because Christian McCaffrey's out, he's no longer a scheme merchant. He has Kyle Shanahan. He has Juwan Jennings. He has Jordan Mason. He has Bobby Turner. He's not a scheme merchant.
Sam Darnold has Kevin O'Connell and the best wide receiver in football. What are we doing here?
Wow, man. What are we doing here? You really telling me that you take away Christian McCaffrey and all of a sudden Brock Purdy is struggling for weapons?
George Kittle has been out, and Deebo Samuel has been out.
And he lost those games. He lost those games.
He has Jordan Mason, an undrafted running back, and Juwan.
He has the 2nd leading rusher in the NFL. He is the 3rd leading receiver in the NFL. Like, wow, man. Is that not enough?
What do we talk about? We talk about quarterbacks elevating talent around.
I mean, Mahomes doesn't have that. Who's his running back?
Kareem Hunt right now.
Okay. Dude, if you gave Mahomes Juwan Jennings and Jordan Mason, his numbers would be incredible. And he's still 4-0. He's still 4-0.
Well, yeah, they haven't
really praising a 2-2 quarterback right now.
Yeah. You're giving me QB wins?
You know why? Because he makes $1 million a year. When he makes $60 million a year, we're not going to praise him when he's 2-2 and he lost to the Rams.
The Rams loss was a bad loss, but he wasn't the only reason they lost to the Rams.
It doesn't matter. If you're the $60 million quarterback, you have to be the reason you win. You have to hit that throw to Brandon Ayuk. If you're making $1 million a year, people just applaud you for the effort.
You're going to sit here and say Patrick Mahomes is 4-0. He's not the reason they're 4-0. The defense is
the reason they're 4-0. The defense?
Yeah.
Okay.
The defense is awesome in Kansas City.
Yeah, man. Patrick Mahomes is overrated.
I never said that. Those words never came out of my mouth. I mean, if we're going to argue,
who's having a better year than Brock Purdy than you in your mind right now?
As a quarterback?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Okay. The 2-2 guy who lost to the Rams and sacked himself 5 times week 2, is the best quarterback in the league this year. All right, man. Okay, we can move on. We just disagree.